Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. Yep, we got some changes going on up here. The bench that used to be here is now in the basement. It is finally where it's supposed to be. It's the outfeed table for my table saw. If you watched that video, almost a year ago now when I made it, I actually said when I was building that bench, the Craig Universal bench, that it was going to become the outfeed table for my table saw when I got everything moved to the other side of the basement. It's there now. For now, I'm working on one of these Craig mobile benches here, and it's going to be here hopefully for only a couple of months, and we're going to build a proper woodworking workbench for up here. A small one, probably 48, maybe 50 inches tops in width, and 20 inches out. But that's another video. Today, I want to talk to you about my Ryobi P601 router. I've used this router now for about a year. I did a video on it about a year ago, and you all seem to like the video. It's actually the third most watched video on my channel. So I've got over 90 videos now, and it's the third most watched one, so you guys obviously like this router. I'll put that video up here so you can go see the full review. Today I want to talk to you about the accessory fence that I actually have mounted on here now. It is extremely easy to mount, guys, so I don't really need to show you the mounting. All I can tell you is there's two rails that screw into the holes that are already in your router base, and then you just slide this mechanism onto the rails. Now, one thing I've done, as you can see, is I've added a piece of hardwood fence to the fence. There are two holes provided there, and you just screw a piece on. This is only 4 inches wide from the factory, so it's not that much purchase to the edge of the board. I made this 7.5 inches, which gives me almost double the amount of fence space. It's much easier to hold it true with that extra purchase there. Now, what I want to tell you about this thing is it's not that easy to find. I don't know why, but Ryobi and some of their accessories, I had the same problem with my quarter sheet sander vacuum attachment. They don't really advertise them. They don't talk about them much. This is actually made for the rigid and the Ryobi palm routers, the P601 for the Ryobi. I'm not sure what the rigid model number is because I don't own it, but it will fit either one of those cordless small little palm routers. You can find it on eBay and you can find it on Amazon. It is not in my area for sale at the Home Depot, so that doesn't mean it's not for sale at the Home Depot in your area. I just know in my area it is not. I had to go get it online. It's 20 bucks, so it's not that expensive. Do you need this thing? Well, that's a good question. I kind of consider it at 20 bucks a good accessory to this tool. Even with this accessory, the tool's under 100 bucks. Now, if you have a router table, maybe you don't need it. I do have a router table, but it's downstairs. So for me, it's convenient to have it up here and not have to run downstairs. You can also take a piece of hardwood and clamp it to whatever you're working on and route your dado, whatever your groove, whatever you're doing that way. So you don't actually need this. You could make grooves and dados without this, but this does make it very easy to make grooves and dados near the end of a board. Alright, so when would you use this thing? Obviously, most of our router bits have bearings on them, and we use them on the outsides of a board, and the bearing hits the edge of the board and you just kind of follow the bearing along the edge of the board. But if you want to make a groove, say 3/4 of an inch in here, and run it across the width of this board, there's no bearing there. And because there's no bearing, you need something to give yourself a purchase so that you can guide it true. There's no bearing. And that's where this fence comes in. Like I said, you can also clamp a piece of wood down and then measure from the edge of your edge of the router to the blade and run it across. I think this works well for small little grooves like this. Let me show you one. don't put your router down in a hole on your table. So as you can see, I have a nice dado cut in this board. It's basically what it's for, guys. It's to cut grooves. I call this a dado. If it runs with the grain, I'd call it a groove. It's to do that internally to the board. You know, if you were going to do something on the edge of the board, you'd use a router bit with a bearing. But because we want to do this internal to the board, you would use this fence to make that happen. That's the whole thing, guys. That's the whole gist of this video. I only am doing this video because you guys have watched my review of this router so many times that I thought maybe some people would be interested in this little accessory fence. There's really not that much to it. Like I said, it slides off of these two rails. Just like that. The two rails just screw right into the provided threaded holes on your router. And they do put a nice slot there so you can use a slotted screwdriver to tighten them up. That's the whole assembly. It's very easy. It works well. I think it's worthwhile owning at 20 bucks. It's a good accessory to this router. So that's the whole video, guys. I hope you like it. This is a good Saturday short video. If you did like it, please hit the like button. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and have a great day. We'll see you in the next one.